Well, one of the big stories we're tracking this morning is the cholera outbreak in Hammanskraal. In fact, it's almost a month to the day the first death was reported in that community as a result of the latest outbreak. My co-anchor Ayanda Nyathi is on the ground for us in Hammanskraal this morning. And Ayanda, I understand you're with one of the families that lost a loved one. Struggling with our connection to Ayanda. We're going to give it just a few seconds to try and reconnect so that we continue to bring you this story. Some information for you around the outbreak. 32 is the official death toll that's been reported from government. That's the national death toll. We know that 29 of those deaths would have occurred in Hammanskraal. Again, these are the official numbers coming to us from the health department. But what activists on the ground are telling us is a completely different story. They say the death toll could be much, much higher, and that there has been some threat to them, according to an interview Ayanda held just a little earlier this morning, some threat to their own lives as a result of speaking out against what's unfolding in Hammanskraal insofar as the water crisis is concerned and the cholera outbreak that has resulted. Let's take you live now to my co-anchor, Ayanda Nyathi. He's been tracking the story for us from Hammanskraal this morning, marking Ayanda almost a month since that first death was reported. You're also in conversation with one of the families that lost a loved one.
Yeah, and the context you've given, Michelle, is incredibly important. It takes a fair amount of courage for anybody to speak up, especially in a context where they're also bereaved. You know, we're sitting with just one of several families, I think it's safe to say, in Hammanskraal, who's been completely shaken by what's taken place. We're sitting now with Atlekgang, who's lost her mother, and Velemina, who's lost her daughter. Essentially, the relationship between the two is a grandmother and a granddaughter. So let's just get you a sense of what actually took place and how they're faring in the aftermath of that devastation. Atlekgang me Velemina, thank you so much for speaking to us, Momo Newzroom Afrika. Atlekgang, re ke thome ka wena. Of course, ntho e diragetseng e botlhoko. A re thome at the beginning. What happened?
Naile ka di 15 mama a lwala a tlhale ko mmerekong a fitla a robala fru ha tswa o tlhakatlhakane e le mathata fela a sa je and ha thoma ha tlhaga mo molomong le ka mo morago ka moki a ithusa e ben ra bitsa ambulance ra fonela ambulance ne le ka mo 3 ambulance fitlile ka 10 ba ambulance le bona ba mmone o rena o pala go pala sira and na ba re sokodisa ambulance ba re botsa re tenya ke le transport e ra re tlo no motho ka mkhwaleng ka teng ha ona re ka kra transport o tla namela koloi ya mang a le ka mkhwaleng ka teng e be ra emela ambulance ya fitla ka 10 ba mmona le bona ra mokuka ka stilo from ka montlung a namela stretcher a le montle hanto e be re motsare a Jubilee a tsabile le nnebile go Jubilee he fitla go Jubilee ba motsa mo lokela mo casualty ka robala montle ba hana re ba bona kaya the following day he ke tsoa fru ke le hona mo casualty mola mo di bankeng mola ke re khopela mo cheka na ba hana re tsena so he ke tsena mo ntshare he ke mmona he ba dumela re tsena mola ke mo kra santsana lona ga mkho ke misseng ka teng mara nntse ba mo loketse drip mara drip ela na e fedile e setse e ho hale madi drip ela ba re ke hae ke tla wa the following day ke ske ba ka robala the following day ke wa still o sa lona ka mkhola hape o ntse 4 days ko casualty and service ya tena ile phua ile stara ha service ya bona he ke mo checka hona ka mkhwale ka mkhore mtsamaisteng na santsa na le hona ka mkholo sna di changes and alla ka rena o tlotonyo tlile mo haintse re mongatile ka toulu alla ka ru tlotonyo he ke tlhalosetsa doctor re sa le busy ka yena ya re ka Sunday he ke ya go mo checka ke mo krela santsa na le ko casualty hape ka makala ha he ke butsisa security ke butsore motho mo solo o teng ka mo casualty ka maharena ba re o kwetse o ko oto mara he ba mo checka o santsa na le ka mo casualty ba mo tsa Sunday late a ya ko oto Monday e be here ya ko otong ra mo kra le teng ra kra chance mmona nyana ra kra ba mo loketse di drip la o vedi ke lona tsatsi la tsa maileng ka lona.
And how about tlhalosetsa gore go ba re what went wrong? Ke eng ntho e entse gore ngwana a kule?
Nna re mo isitse kwa ntse a tsholla thata ebile a tlhatsa a sa tše. Ha re fitlha kwa ra ntse morago a seno a tlhokofala ba ntsha faele ya gore o bolaile ke cholera. Le bjanong dipampiri tsa teng di teng mola di kwadile gore o bolaile ke cholera. Di-kittens tsa hae ba re nesetse di tlodisena metsi ka mokgwa ba boletseng ka teng. Re utlwile botlhoko thata ka ntho e tlhahileng, and ntho ha ya tlhaela rena fela, e tlhaetse malapa mantši. Ne re kopane kore ka yona taba ye ba re botsisa ba bang bile difaele di timetse le ya ngwana ka ne ile a timela nako e telele. Doctor kwadile morao re bolaile ke cholera. Ke ntho e re utlwisitseng botlhoko gore why ha o tlhadio tse so ka mo sepetlele kore tse dingwe tse a di tsamaye ka molao wa sepetlele gore tshwaro e so o ira ha so. Ke ntho e re makaditseng le bjanong kore ke sa utlwa botlhoko thata ke sa utlwa botlhoko kore a ke kgone go kry-a karabo ya gore why ho ira so le sepetlele le sona ba re ke metsi a mo kanana ba re ha nwewe re nwe a mo dithepeng re reke metsi le bjanong re no thusa ke bona ba batlang mo ba tlo re checka ba re tlisetsa di 5 liter tsa metsi ke ona re phelang ka ona. Ra ipotsa re metsi a ba re tlisetsang ona ha fela re tla kgona go reka metsi na le bana ba ka mo lapeng na re tla kgona go reka metsi. Tšheletenyana e nna ke holang ya modende ka se kgone go thusa bana ba e sa le ba bannyane. First born ya hae na le 21 years, o wa bobedi o na le 12 years o ya sekolong.
Ya no e botlhoko ntho e diragetseng. Metsi a lo tholang wona ha le well matsatsing a fitileng a enough one?
Ha enough ka rano re fela ntse re ino rano so ene na le taba ya hore ba tlisa metsi fela ka dijo a ba re thuse ene le hona gore re ska kra thuso ha re checka mo listing mama ha teng mo listing ya batho ba cholera ha teng total re thako jubile ra botsa doctor e ba re rela lekwalo mara lekwalo leo a le prove selo ka gore what's ana batho a usana batho ba batlang ba tla ba re checka ba re tlisa eng ba batlang ba re tlisetsa metsi fela dijo hona re kre selo.
Okay, if no gona le tsela ya gore ba le thuse ne le ka batla thuso e jang o buile ka dijo le eng gape?
Ke tsona dijo tse re di tlhokang le thuso ya ngwana sekolo. Ka rena ke bereke no ngwana o setse mo matsogong a ene re nna le kuku hola mo denda a bereke lena.
Thank you so much for le gona about what's happened Momogai. I mean, just to loosely translate there, Michelle, it's a completely bereaved family. You get a sense that the person who's passed on in many ways was a pillar to this family. She leaves behind 2 children. The eldest is 21, as well as her mother, who we've also just spoken to, emphasizing that she is still incredibly hurt by what's taken place, and that's probably an understatement from her. And that's largely because she still has so many unanswered questions around how we got here to begin with.
Heartbreaking, Ayanda, especially. And we've revealed it in our coverage through our reporters, through the people we've spoken to, that the money has been spent, the job has been half done, and it does appear that, by all accounts, this could have been prevented. That will no doubt be the most hurtful thing for families like the one you've just spoken to. Ayanda Nyathi, thanks very much indeed for that interview.